Hello, what is up? I am so excited. This is officially week 1 of the Mamba year. If you don't know what the Mamba year is, if you're confused as to what I'm talking about, check out the video that I'm gonna link on the screen somewhere and go check out the introduction. So, I'm really excited. Obviously, as I've said multiple times, the quote of this week, the Kobe quote of this week is, "If you're afraid to fail, then you are probably going to fail." And there are so many different things that I think are valuable to take out of that quote and to really just apply to life in every day. So one of the things that I think is that you could pull from this quote is something that I talked about briefly on my Instagram stories, but it's just like almost kind of like, why are you afraid to fail? And are you afraid to fail because you have failed so many times before? So are you afraid to fail again? And I think that's a really important thing to overcome with anything. I think whether it's weight loss, whether it's sports, whether it's anything, most of the time you're not gonna get it right the first time. And if you're just afraid to try again because you are afraid that you're gonna fail again, then you're never going to make it. The only thing that can come out of trying again is like you might actually succeed this time. So the only way to actually get to that success is to try again. So you can't be afraid of trying again, putting yourself back out there again, trying it again, signing up again, starting over, basically. The next thing I think is really important is that if you are afraid to fail, you are planting self-doubt into your mind. And I think that it is so important to, like, how you talk to yourself and how you hype yourself up is very important. And I think it's such a negative mindset to just be afraid to fail. I think you just need to kind of spin it into the best way that you possibly can, and to not basically talk down to yourself, and to like tell yourself that you can do it and that there's no reason to be afraid. And like, what if, like, yeah, you might fail, like, so what? I don't think that failing is necessarily a bad thing. And that takes me right into one of my next points, is how you are perceiving failure is a big deal. And it's like, it's really important to look at that internally and figure out how you're looking at failure. Because if you look at failure as like, I failed, I'm done, like I can't try again, I can't do it again, I will never succeed, versus if you look at failure as an opportunity, a fresh start to try again, that makes all the difference in the world. So it goes really hand in hand with just the negative mindset or the positive mindset, and how you are choosing to perceive the failure, and if it's going to help motivate you. And I know sometimes that if you keep failing and failing and failing and failing, it's hard for someone to just say like, oh, well, like, let that motivate you. Like, I get that. But understand that it is something, like, it's setting you up for something better. It's setting you up for better success in the future, setting you up for a better opportunity. If you failed the first time, the second time is just gonna be sweeter, and you just have to keep pushing and just like fight through to that breaking point. It may be, you may have to start over and try and fail 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 times, but the biggest thing that kind of ties this back to the whole Mamba mentality is that it's about the process, it's about the way of life. So it's not necessarily worrying about the end result. If you fail, okay, what did you learn? If you failed 100 times, what did you learn those 99 times? That's gonna be where all your value comes from, and that's going to help propel you into the next chapter. And that's about all I got for this week's quote. I think the biggest thing is just that the mental battle is like most of the fight. And so if you can get that, if you can train your brain, if you can change how you're perceiving things, I think that you will not only not be afraid of failing, but you will welcome failure because you know what it's going to lead you to in the future. It's so important that you are not afraid of failing. You should not be afraid of failing, because if you actually do fail, you will learn and grow, and you will have new opportunities. And you need to make sure that you are talking yourself through and like telling yourself that you are not going to fail, because that's how you're going to succeed, is to say that I am not going to fail. I'm not afraid of failing because I'm not going to fail. It's not even an option for me. And I think that is a big thing for me with week 1. I've got, this is like a day 3 of a whole year. And so it never even was like crossed my mind of like, oh my gosh, like, well, what if this happened? No, it doesn't even need to cross your mind. There's no failure. There's no option. That's it. And so with just a long way to go, I'm really excited. And like that quote is really pushing me through just in like with this project and through my workouts and just through life itself. So I encourage you to not be afraid to fail and to live your life with the Mamba mentality.